Corey Sr. owns the race car. Car number 10 for Wayne Corey Jr.
This driver put on a show a week ago in car number 23 in the Rafferty fine grading car. The driver is Kevin Gambacorta.
BMW Graphics brings us to 42 from Northland, Connecticut. Another stellar competitor, Michael Ray.
Last week's winner is in car number 16. Alpine Tree Company is a sponsor for the Magnum. Michael Bennett.
Winner during Sizzler Weekend, Flamingo Motorsports, Brad Auto Machine, the Bob Peterson car, car number 17 from Palmer for Josh Wood.
This driver had a great run a week ago in his first 50-lap race. He's in car number 82, the Supreme Industries car for Paul Arute.
And starting in the final row, it'll be the number 39 from Berlin, Connecticut, the Nashville Drive Machine for Paul Marecchio Jr. And starting scratch, car number 01 for Jim Mavlajanis, the Magnum Steel Machine from Bethany, Connecticut. Double greens are out from Chris Gambado, and they are making some noise to the bottom of turn one.
But making the biggest racket is Tyler Leary. He is a half a car length in front of Tommy Butler. Butler sitting on his lap, but Leary takes the lead. As they swing off the corner, it is still Leary out in front, giving chase. Tommy Butler, as he has so many times in the past, and Rich Hammond. Remember how spectacular he was in the early going a week ago. He is pretty spectacular right now.
He certainly is. Down the back straightaway. Here comes Butler all over the back bumper of the number 11 of Tyler Leary. Leary ran very strong. We commented a week ago it was one of his best runs in a long time here at Stafford, and he's showing that that was no fluke. Meanwhile, further back in the competition, struggling now, it is Wayne Corey in the 10, Michael Bennett the Magnum in the 16, as Mavlajanis is starting to make his presence known.
Now, Tommy Fern tried to move in underneath Hammond. He is doing it again. So Hammond holding on, but he has a defending champ. He crazy glued to his rear bumper.
No question about it. Here comes Tom Fern up on the podium. And right there with him, the Alpine Tree Company, number 31 of Glenn Reen. Reen now makes his presence known. Rich Hammond still guarding the spot. That's the battle for the 4th and 5th spot. Kevin Gambacorta, again, is the fastest car on the racetrack, 21.384. 21.384.
And following Gambacorta underneath Hammond, that is Michael Ray, and Ray makes a move with ease. Up at the front, Tyler Leary has never finished in the top 5 in a late model race at Stafford. Tonight could be his night as he is holding his own and then some against Turbo Tommy Butler.
Oh, well, that's been happening at the front of the field. Meanwhile, Josh Wood, all of a sudden, Paul Arute gets shifted out of line. He loses one position. Meanwhile, back up front, it's still a youngster looking for his first career victory here at Stafford. From Hatfield, Massachusetts, Tyler Leary. Meanwhile, look at Fern. Butler and Fern have a lot of laps on this racetrack, Matt. And Fern is able to run strong through the turns, but Butler seems to have a little more giddy up on the straightaways.
And he needs that giddy up because Tom Fern, he is relentless. So is Glenn Rain pressuring Fern. He is in 4th. And Gambacorta, remember, Gambacorta usually comes on at the end. So this is Gambacorta just getting his feet wet now. He'll be diving into the pond in just a few moments. 8 laps completed. All those laps have been led by Tyler Leary.
Certainly have, but keep your eyes on Gambacorta. Tom Fern now just clicked off the fastest lap of the race, 21.235, as he currently sets among the top 3 cars. Meanwhile, a little further back, Wood, and now all of a sudden the Magnum Michael Bennett and Wayne Corey are starting to work over Mavlajanis. That is a battle that is raging for the 8th position currently on the racetrack.
A little stiff arm applied by Bennett. It didn't work. Mavlajanis still has his spot. So trying to bury his way underneath the 01 is Michael Bennett, and that didn't work either. So Mavlajanis started from the rear, but when you can hold off Michael Bennett for a while, you know you're doing something right.
Meanwhile, Tom Butler's car gets shuffled to the bottom of the top 6 now, currently with the number 4 car. He was very strong, just a few laps to go. 10 of the 30 laps now complete. Fern is trying to become the tail that wags a dog here as he closes in on Leary, but Leary has a nice lead and his laps are very consistent. Last time by, 21.724. Fern turned to 21.562. And then, of course, the number 31 machine of Glenn Reen still sitting in the third spot.
Yeah, Leary leading by a light pole over Tommy Fern. Fern has been known for late race heroics. Maybe the battle to keep an eye on is for third and fourth. Reen is there, but ready to knock on the door is Gamba Corda. So Reen could have his hands full, as here is Gamba Corda. He is Velcro to the inside of the 31 car.
He makes it look so easy as he works his magic down to the bottom of the racetrack, gone. He will pick up the spot off the turn. Glenn Reen in the Alpine Tree Company car goes around as he was just contending right there. Will he get it fired back up as we go to caution with 13 laps now complete?
And his learning curve is ready to take another step because he is going to be restarting alongside the four-time champion Tommy Fern. So there is no margin for error right now for Tyler Leary.
Let's see what's going to happen now. There is the green, and Leary and Fern with a little power assist from Gamba Corda, but Leary continues to hold on. That neon green and black number 11 is still the leader, but look at Gamba Corda. Like he was shot out of a cannon, Matt. He moves quickly into second and goes around Fern like Superman.
They screech off the corner. Gamba Corda is a guy making things happen. Tommy Butler is on the inside in the number 4 position, trying to get by Ray, and he does. And look at Malvagianis. He came from the weeds, and he moves into the top 5.
He certainly does. He suggested that he would like to go to the rear of the pack because he wasn't quite comfortable with the race car, but now it's looking very comfy, cozy, as he has now moved into the top 5. Meanwhile, back to the front of the field, Leary is still the leader. Fastest lap turn, 21.235. Tom Fern, your third place car. Now keep your eyes on a side-by-side battle for the 5th spot, the 6th position, and 7th and 8th.
As Michael Ray was able to duck inside Malvagianis to reestablish himself in the top 5. So a pretty good move there. Look at Glenn Reen. Remember, he was sideways just a couple of laps ago, and right now he moves into the top 6.
Glenn Reen is a man possessed, working his magic. Meanwhile, Malvagianis drops back to the 6th spot, and Michael Bennett sets in the 8th position. Little further back, Paul Arute with Wayne Corey Jr. and Rich Hammond. 17 laps, just 2 laps past the halfway marker in this one. Things are settling in, and now Josh Wood and Malvagianis are in a side-by-side battle. That's the battle for the 7th, 8th, and 9th position.
And scraping his way underneath Malvagianis is Josh Wood. Let's see if he can maintain his edge as they go into turn number 2. And it looks like Wood is going to be pulling away. Now Bennett attacking the back bumper of the Malvagianis car. The feel-good story of the race has been established by Tyler Leary. And the interesting thing, the margin between he and Gamba Corda has remained about the same for the last 5 laps.
The last circuit by, he turned to 4.73, and Gamba Corda turned to 4.37. So Gamba Corda, by timing and scoring, is just a bit quicker. But is he quick enough to be able to get around Leary, who continues to hit his mark lap after lap in the Amherst Trucking number 11 machine? What a good run for this young talented driver, Tyler Leary.
But now remember, this is Gamba Corda time. He usually comes alive during the final 10 laps of a race. All by himself in third is Tommy Fern, so he has dropped off the pace of our top 2. And then we have a battle. Tommy Butler and Glenn Reen. Reed bombards his way to the inside, and he is able to napalm his way into the top 4.
The Alpine Tree Company, number 31, of Glenn Reen is up to the 4th spot. Butler back up to 5. Ray is in the 6th spot. Wood for 7. 8th position is Malvagianis. 9th spot is Hammond. And 10th spot is Michael Bennett.
And leading by the length of a banana peel is Tyler Leary. Continues to hold off the determined Kevin Gamba Corda. Leary running for his first ever Stafford win. Gamba Corda, he has designs of a championship. Now getting closer to Fern is Glenn Rain. Nobody has passed more cars in this race than Glenn Rain.
Certainly has. He's overcome all the opposition, and he is getting quicker, by the way. 21.378. That's almost 2/10 quicker. So he is really, really coming on strong. 25 as they cross the stripe the next time by. They'll be into the final 5, but look at Reen again. Bottom shot move down underneath Fern. Will he be able to move to the podium, Matt, as they head down into turn 3?
And he is going to strut his way underneath Fern. The fastest car on the track belongs to Glenn Reen. The margin between Leary and Gambacorta remains the same. Down to the final 5. Leary having the ride of his Stafford career, holding off Gambacorta. Can he do it for 4.5 more laps?
There's no question about it. This kid has done his homework, and he's been showing it. When you can hold off Gambacorta here at Stafford, that's saying something. Bottom of turn number 1. Leary still continues to run right where he's supposed to on the racetrack, not giving up an inch at all, running a perfect line. Turn number 3. Gambacorta reeling him in like a Tom and Jerry cartoon, a little cat and mouse action as they come to the stripe. 27 laps complete, 2.5 miles left to go.
Only a knitting needle separates Leary from Gambacorta. Reen is in third, but in the spotlight, Tyler Leary. Last week wrecked his car late in the race. He has resurrected it tonight. 2 laps to go for Tyler Leary.
These are the final 2 circuits. They've worked so hard, so long, trying to secure a victory here at Stafford. Something they've dreamed about, but Gambacorta reels him in. Gambacorta looks to take a peek at the bottom. Leary slams the door. Off the turn, here comes Gambacorta. Off the turn, down to the stripe. White flag is out, and there's no surrendering in a battle for the lead.
A slight advantage for Gambacorta heading into turn 2. Does Leary have comeback power as they shotgun their way into turn number 3? Gambacorta in front.
Deep into turn 3. Gambacorta with a power move with 1 lap to go. Kevin Gambacorta will take down the impressive victory. Leary will finish in second. Glenn Reen will finish in third. Tom Fern for fourth. And Michael Ray to finish among the top 5.
Then it was Josh Wood in 6th, Jim Avlogianis in 7th, Tommy Butler in 8th, the Hammer, Rich Hammond in 9th, and Wayne Curry Jr. in 10th.
Finishing in the 11th spot, Paul Aroot, Michael Bennett for 12th, and Paul Verrecchio Jr. to finish in 13th. Well, there's no question about it. Patience was one of many words that would best describe Kevin Gambacorta, waiting to the final circuit to put on a power move that would give him the number 1 spot. But what about the youngster, Tyler Leary, with the number 11 car from Hatfield, Mass.? His day is coming, and I think it's coming really quick. Great job for Tyler. I'm sure he's disappointed in second, but he has nothing to be disappointed in at all. And Glenn Reen passed more cars than anyone in the field tonight.
I think it just took its toll at the end on that 31 car, and he ran out of ammunition. Tyler Leary had never finished in the top 5 before in a late model race. You can throw that statistic out the window because he has done it tonight. You said patience. Kevin Gambacorta almost pulled off the move a week ago against Michael Bennett. He was able to do it tonight against Tyler Leary. Clean, fast, efficient, and exciting. Kevin Gambacorta looking for a championship this year. And if he can run like that, the patience combined with firepower, he's going to be a tough guy to beat out.
He certainly is. And Glenn Reen is showing that he's adjusted. He can drive anything. Anything you put this talent behind the wheel of.
He could drive a Craftmatic adjustable bed to the winner's circle as he put on a show tonight. So Gambacorta got the win, but the show was put on by Glenn Reen.
It certainly was. And now we're going to direct our attention to Victory Lane. The Rafferty Fine Grading Machine is in Napa Victory Lane. Let's go down to John Gates. John?
Kevin Gambacorta goes to Victory Lane indeed in the beautiful number 23 car. He had to fight for this one. Kevin Gambacorta, good run, man. I'll tell you what, the 23 was absolutely on fire tonight. You had to earn that one, passing a lot of cars.
Yeah, just like last week. This is one badass race car. It could still be better. Made it better this week, but it could still be better. Man, this is unreal. Have a car like this, holy cow. Just think these guys that come here every Friday to help me. I mean, that's unbelievable to me. I had to thank Rafferty Fighting Grading, Life Care Family Chiropractic, Jay Stewart from JMD Chassis, and like I keep saying, man, Dave Miller, brand new piece in this thing, and it's unreal, unreal.
Kevin, the late models put on a great show tonight, man. You got to be happy. Just with the level of competition out there.
Yeah, this is, 2 really good races in a row. Tyler there in 11 did an unbelievable job, and I don't think I would have got him without. I think he made a little mistake. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't think I would have got him, but man, this is unreal.
Big win, NASCAR late model feature winner Kevin Gambacorta in the 23. Let's talk to our second place finisher, Tyler Leary. And man, Tyler, come on over here, man. You got it really close. Tell you what, the number 11 car, it looked so strong early, that last restart.
Yeah, no, it was, the car's been phenomenal all year. It was a big turnaround from last year. I got to thank Bob Philp for putting in all his effort in this and getting this thing to go finally. So it's good to have a consistent race car underneath me. And, man, I got a lot of people to thank for this. I got to thank Dad. Without him, not possible. All the sponsors on the car. We'd be here all night if I listed them all, but they know who they are, and a tremendous help. I got to thank Uncle Jimmy. I got to thank Louie, Brandon, and Logan for coming out tonight, and the fans for coming out on this wonderful early summer night, and thanks to Stafford Speedway.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Tyler, I'll tell you what, you made the podium tonight, second place. Congratulations. I'm sure we're going to see you in victory lane real soon in that number 11 car. Let's talk to Glenn Reen. He come home third spot. Man, Glenn, that car had a lot of power there in the last half of that race. What happened? What brought you down to pit road, first of all?
Well, first off, I can't thank the good Lord enough for the opportunity to be with this awesome team. RRC gives 110%. We cannot seem to shake this bad luck we got, but last week it was my fault. This week it was just, bad luck. We had a flat left rear. I could feel it going down. I was hoping we could make it to a caution, and it just spun out. So huge thanks to this whole RRC, guys. They worked real hard all week to get this thing back together. Life Care Family Chiropractic, Wheeling Engineering, Ruby's Liquors. I'm actually going to go there and celebrate tonight. We'll have to get some. If you guys up there want to get some, meet me there. I got to thank all these guys. It's just a great effort. TA Engines, and it's awesome.
Glenn, are you ready for the SK Modified main event a little bit later on?
Yeah, a little happier that thing's got a screen in it. It's not as hot, but it's still hot in them cars.
There he is, man. Class Act, third place tonight. Glenn Reen in car number 31, guys.
First of 2 appearances here in 2017 for the Valenti Modified Racing Series.
Lights are off on the safety vehicle at the point. They head into turn number 3. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready. It's showtime for the Valenti Modified Racing Series from the Stafford Motor Speedway. Field looks racy off turn number 4. Give them a wave now as they work their way by. Give them a send-off for tonight's main event for the Valenti Modified Race Series.
David Etheridge looking for his first win with the Valenti Modified Racing Series, brings them to green from that number 1 starting spot. And of course, Rowan Pennick is right alongside, and Pennick certainly is no stranger to victory lane here with this series. He has 2 wins to his credit in the Gary Casella Roscoe Racing number 25.
Richard Savory said it best during the week. The guys that run here at Stafford all the time have definitely the home court advantage. For a competitor like Rowan Pennick, that is exactly what he has. Woody Pitcat, the same can be said there. Ladies and gentlemen, David Etheridge and Rowan Pennick side by side. Here's John Spence with the call.
And John Spence Jr. throws the green flag on the field, is sending this field down into turn number 1, and we are officially underway in this 80-lap event. Off the corner, Etheridge leads them down the back straightaway.
Etheridge out in front. Meanwhile, all of a sudden, making some noise, working his way in the outside lane, Kid Rock, Keith Rocco, goes from the high line to the inside line. Here comes Woody Pitcat with car 52.
And alongside on the outside, a surprising move here for car number 17, Donnie Lashua, the Canaan, New Hampshire veteran, mixing it up here with the guns in the early going.
Certainly does. Dylan Kopech right there with him as they rumble off turn number 4. Back to the stripe they come. Rocco glued to the back bumper of Pennick. It almost looks like the SKs, but this is the Valenti Modified Racing Series. Bid for second, turn 3.
It'll be worthy to keep an eye on car number 92. He had a great 2016 season with this series, and he is in right tight behind the M6 car. And of course, we're speaking of Anthony Nocella in that number 92.
Nacella looks racy at the back of the point of the field. All of a sudden, here comes Les Hinckley. Hinckley has moved in to the bottom of the top 10. Keep your eyes on him. He's going to be a noisemaker soon in this event. Meanwhile, Woody Pitcat trying to shake off Donnie Lashaway. Can't do it now. That's the battle for the 5th spot, John, and a good battle right there.
4 laps into the books. Ready to come around and complete lap number 5 is still Etheridge sitting atop the pack here. And right behind is Rowan Pennick in 2nd spot in car number 25.
Rowan Pennick still looks very strong. Meanwhile, competitors that are threading the needle to get to the top 10 include Savory. Look at Keith Rocco up on the wheel. Goes to the outside in turn 3. Usually, Keith Rocco likes the bottom. Now he's going to go for it in the outside lane. They're wheel to wheel for seconds.
Looking back through, drivers on the move. Richard Savory's on the roll in car number 99. He comes right up behind Johnny Kay. And look at Les Hinckley. You pointed that out a couple of laps ago, Ben. He's up behind Willis Jr. in turn number 3. That bright yellow 06. Keep an eye on the 2nd generation shoe.
There's no question about it. As you look back towards the front of the field, Keith Rocco. David Etheridge started his racing career right here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. There's the patented Keith Rocco move. Inside, Etheridge slams the door. There's no room at the end this time. Those reservations were canceled.
Certainly were, and Etheridge does a nice job to maintain top spot, headed down the front straightaway into the corners. Still holding on to that number 3 position is Pennick, but look at Woody Pitcat all over, looks low, going into turn number 3, settles right in behind the 25, and he's challenging for the number 3 position.
It is Woody Pitcat's home turf here at Stafford. He was the big dog and the king. He makes his presence known in the 4th spot. While all that's been happening, another mover and the shaker is the number 92 machine of Anthony Norsella. Started 8th on the grid, and Anthony Norsella is already showing the signs that he's going to be a contender.
Right up
10 of the 80 laps are complete.
Absolutely, and Donnie Lashua still solid in 5th spot. That's a nice run for the veteran from New Hampshire as he is holding on to that position. Now look at this as Johnny Kay's to the inside of car number 4, Gallup. And right behind is Les Hinckley on the move.
Hinckley makes his presence known, car number 06. It's been quite a while since he's come back to Stafford, but he is a veteran and one of the best short track drivers in the country. Off the turn. Back off turn number 4, the leader is Kid Rock, Keith Rocco. Etheridge, the early leader of the event, 2 leaders in 12 circuits. Still in 3rd is Pennick, 4th spot is Pitcat, 5th is Lashaway, 6th is Kopech, 7th is Anthony Nocella, and Richard Savory is up to the 8th spot, followed by Johnny Kay in 9th, Willis in 10th, and then it's Les Hinckley just out of the top 10.
It really comes as no surprise that Rocco was leading this in the early going. He was extremely fast here in the 2 practice sessions this afternoon. Etheridge is solid in 2nd spot. Pennick and Woody Pitcat is running in the 4th position in car number 52. It is still Donnie Lashua in 5th spot. And then you've got Kopech in 6th. The 7th is Nocella. And the number 99 car, Richard Savory, running in 8th.
Look at Anthony Nocella. He just made a move down underneath Dylan Kopech, and that will give him position number 6th. So moving forward, Anthony Nocella, that was a brand new race car, John, at the start of this season. They were kind of disappointed in the first outing with it, but it's not going to be disappointing at all here tonight as he is turning some heads. Little further back, Richard Savory. He was involved in a jingle in his qualifying round, but they've worked on that race car. That is a brand new race car for that team as well.
Absolutely. And scanning back, you've got Mike Willis Jr. and Les Hinckley. They have gone by Johnny Kay, so they've moved up a couple of notches here in the early stages. 17 laps completed in this 80-lap go.
Things start to settle in, but still at the point, it's Keith Rocco, the leader of the pack. David Etheridge, the only other leader in 17 circuit sets in 2nd. Rowan Pennick is there. That's the brand new Roscoe Racing car, setting in the 3rd spot. And then Woody Pitcat. Now, Pitcat is one of those drivers that knows how to pace himself at this racetrack, so you'll see him come on strong later in the event. And now, Nocella has closed up the gap on Donnie Lashaway, but Lashaway is turning in the run of his career here at Stafford.
I agree with that. This has been a strong run right since the drop of the green flag to get this thing going. Very impressive run so far. Jack Bateman's going to be pleased with the way car number 17 is running.
Savory now working over Dylan Kopech. Look at Richard Savory. Turn 3, John.
Yes.
Slingshot move. The color silver like a silver bullet. Just made the move on the money-colored car of Dylan Kopech.
One of the great names in New England auto racing, Joey Carafas up here in the grandstands, the spotter for car number 99. And right now, Savory is indeed on the move.
Further back in the field, a battle going on, the 85 machine, and that's Jeff Rocco. That car, the transporter, broke down coming to the Speedway, had no practice on the race car. And now look at Nacella down underneath, Lashaway, off turn number 4. They cling and they clang. We've got a caution. A spin underneath the Laser 99 billboard. It's the number 11 of Jeffrey Gernhard out of Basra, Connecticut. Another very talented young driver. Family operation. His mom and dad prepare the car as well.
Green flag's back on the Speedway, Ben.
A picture-perfect start, and David Etheridge shows it was no fluke that he led for the first 11. But he's no match for Keith Rocco. Woody Pitcat, I told you he's been saving something, and I think the surprise might be Anthony Nocella in this event.
But keep an eye on Les Hinckley. Hinckley is on the go. Down the straightaway into the turn as he races on the outside of Donnie Lashua. Quick off to Nerf bar to Nerf bar and wheel to wheel heading into turn number 3. They're nose to tail in front of them. That's your side-by-side battle. It is between Lashua and Hinckley.
They come off the turn like a snake in a voodoo dance as they work their magic off turn number 2. Here comes Pitcat again. Tries it underneath Edridge. It doesn't work there at all. And all of a sudden, car number 85, the Purple Easter Bunny Special, has moved into the bottom of the top 10. Good run for Jeff Rocco.
Got some good racing going on down through that line too, Ben. Very competitive. The 99 car, Richard Savory, did get by Les Hinckley, so he now is setting his sights on Donnie Lashua. Keep an eye on Savory.
Well, they run nose to tail. Good racing further back in the field. Matt Mead is struggling at the bottom of the top 20. Here comes Etheridge, making a bid for it. Down low to the inside. Doesn't happen right there. Pulls it back into line. They come off the turn like a conga line. Everybody sidestepping each other to try to find an open spot on the racetrack.
Jeff Rocco getting in that thing for the first time here this afternoon, and late, mind you. Didn't get any practice time because of a problem on the way down here for the race team. Right now, he's putting pressure to Les Hinckley down the front straightaway, and as Ben said, keep an eye on that purple number 85.
You know, Donnie Barker, along with Bob Keaton and Kevin Stewart, they create the magic for that car. Now look at Savory. He's testing the waters. He made a move down underneath Donnie Lashaway, and Lashaway closed the door rather abruptly in that situation. Not over with yet for the lead. Keith Rocco, still the leader of the pack, and just a few minutes ago, Les Hinckley, who looked so strong, all of a sudden, it seems that he's starting to slow just a bit. Maybe his tires are going away.
This has not been a romp for Keith Rocco. He has been dogged by the 25 and the 34, and they continue to pursue him down the back straightaway. Now Woody is solid in 4th spot as he comes up behind Etheridge, and right behind him we've got a good close coming from the 92 here. Nocella, he's closing on the back end of Pitcat.
Look at the bottom of the top 10. Johnny K, who comes from Florida Trouble now. We've got a spin. It is between turns 3 and 4, and we think that's the 16 machine. And it is the 16 car.
Colby Fournier.
Of Colby Fournier. Another very talented driver who graduated from the Seekonk Speedway. Here they come.
Green flag's back on the speedway. Let's see how this plays out, Stafford fans, as they go into the corner. And Keith has got a ton of pressure coming from Pennick, who gets a good run off of turn 2, and Woody goes along for the ride.
He sure does. Woody Pitcat becomes the tail that wags the dog there. Meanwhile, Savory is up on the wheel on the outside of Anthony Nocella. That is the battle for the 5th spot.
Boy, some good competition, too, off the second corner. Look at the 99 car go to the outside of Nocella. They're going to go wheel to wheel into the turn. Jeff Rocco, Donnie Lashua, they're hooked up in a battle coming off turn number 4. That's shaking out nicely down the front straightaway as the competition continues to be keen.
Certainly does. Meanwhile, bottom of the top 10, Jeff Rocco is applying some pressure to Lashaway. 32 of 80 now complete. Keith Rocco still your leader. Pennick is still running in second. Third position is Pitcat. Etheridge in fourth. And rounding out the top 5 is Anthony Nocella. Then in the 6th spot is Savory. 7th is Lashaway. 8th is Jeff Rocco. 9th is Kay. And 10th is Charlie Pastriak. Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks?
Nice run by Charlie here. Started deep in the field. Started down the back of his heat race today at his request. And right now, he has been solid. He's just rolling right along here. And he's right up tight behind Johnny Kay and in front of the number 25 Connecticut car.
Look at the move that Richard Savory just made on David Etheridge.
Trouble.
Oh, trouble now. Jeff Rocco. What a nice save.
I wonder if a tire went down.
The car was literally sideways. He gathered it back.
Nope. Tire's fine. He did a great job, didn't he?
Locked up the brakes, gathered it back, and corrected. Keith Rocco. Last win came on 7/18 in the Valenti Modified Series in 2014.
Back to green they go. Rocketing off toward turn number 1. Lots of side-by-side competition as they roar off turn number 2 and head down the back straightaway. Nocella, look at Savory go to the bottom as he's going to challenge Nocella right up behind Woody Pitcat, and here they come, Ben.
No question about it. Richard Savory has found something between qualifying and the feature event, because that car, the color silver, looks like a silver bullet at times. Nocella back up on the wheel. But look at Savory. He's got a car that goes into turn number 3 so deep, it's unbelievable.
And look at Donnie Lashua. And look at Charlie Pastriak coming along in the number 5 car as they head off into turn number 1. Side-by-side action out of the second corner. Savory on the bottom. And he's got Nocella right ahead of him. And on the outside. The 52 and the 92 from up here. Almost similar looking.
Well, Richard Savory's got a car that has forward bite. That means that the minute that he gets on the throttle, that thing darts ahead by about half a car length. Savory is up to the 4th spot. Where did car 99 start? It started in the 12th position. Where did the 57 start? In position number 3. That's currently your leader. Pitcat still in 3rd. He's never left the podium here tonight.
Rocco has had his hands full since the early going here, since he took the top spot. Pennick right behind him through 3 and 4. To the bottom goes Rowan Pennick, making a bid down low, heading into the turn. It looks like Rowan's trying to turn it up a notch here. He moves ahead out of turn number 2. Look at Rocco fight back on the outside. Nerf bar to Nerf bar going into turn number 3. This is a classic showdown here at Stafford Motor Speedway.
It sure is. Look at the crossover. There comes Rocco. He went from the outside to the inside. He's running in the tire tracks of Rowan Pennick, but Pennick, in command, pulls away. Don't count out Savory or Woody Pitcat or Nocella. It's not over with yet, because we are just past the halfway, lap 41 down.
It's been a show, and it's going to continue to be a show. Fans, sit back and watch now as Pennick's got the top spot. He is the reigning champion of this race, trying to double it up as Rocco continues to give chase. Now it's he that is looking at the back end of a race car.
You have to wonder if Rowan Pennick was saving anything in the first 40, because like he just hit a switch. All of a sudden, the car just darted ahead, and he made a move around Rocco that looked like a patent-pending call in that situation. Back to the bottom of the top 10, it is Charlie Pastriak holding off the Willis machine. And behind that race car, it is the number 06 of Les Hinckley. Hinckley is also coming back to the top 10. Pitcat still isn't letting Keith Rocco change or shake him off. Savory's up to 4, Nacella for 5, Lashaway for 6, Pastriak 7, Willis for 8, Hinckley for 9. And in the 10th spot, it is Anthony Flannery. Good run for him.
Nice job, yes.
First outing. And look at Hinckley. Hinckley's on a power move.
He and Charlie Pastriak side by side working turn number 3. Sitting here looking at Pitcat solid in the number 3 position in Danny Stebbins' entry. If we were not racing here tonight, I got to tell you, I really think that he would be at Boston Garden right now watching the Celtics and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Woody is a huge, huge Boston sports fan. He shows up everywhere.
Certainly does, and he loves the sport. But right now, the Stebbins machine is not looking as strong as it did a few laps ago. Leader comes up on lap traffic. Rowan Pennick makes his presence known, goes to the outside of Colby Fournier, a lapped automobile. Meanwhile, Rocco can reel him in, and Pitcat is still waiting patiently in that 3rd spot. Savory in the comfort zone in the 4th position, and at the bottom of the top 5, Anthony Nacella.
Trouble on the back straightaway.
We've got a spin. So 48 laps now in the record books. Minor spin, it looks like it is. And it is the 50 of Medeiros, Pennick, and Keith Rocco. We've seen this happen many times here at Stafford.
47 laps into the books as the green flag is once again shown to the field as they work off the number 2 turn. It is still Pennick with Rocco in tow. Woody is still 3rd. Here comes the number 99, Richard Savory. Savory working the high side of turn number 4 as he goes side by side with Pitcat down the straightaway. And look at Nocella right there, Ben.
Richard Savory has a car that works. Wherever he puts that silver 99, it seems to stick. And look at Les Hinckley. You called it best, John, early in the race. Hinckley, like Todd Owen was in the SKs, he just never gives up.
He never does, and he's coming along strong one more time. He came up through early on in the event, and he's right back at it again here. Charlie Pastriak, he made that tire swap. Where is he? He's way down at the back end of the field. We'll keep an eye on that over the remaining laps to see if he's able to progress more toward the front after making that tire swap.
David Etheridge's car suddenly has become evil. 30 circuits remaining. Trouble now down the front straightaway. Etheridge and Dylan Kopech got locked together somehow. Maybe the Nerf bars getting locked or the rubber rails on the side of the car. So David Etheridge, once the early leader of the event. Dylan Kopech, his dad Chris Kopech, a legendary modified driver. The famed M6 number, synonymous with B.B. Galinsky and Munson and Palmer, Massachusetts. I don't think there's a resident of that area that doesn't remember good old BB and the success of the M6 combination over the years. So the family Ford of Enfield Safety Services crew checking things out. And I think we called it right. I think the 2 cars are literally locked together on their rub rails. Dylan Kopech, very popular young man. You very seldom see him without a smile on his face. I'm sure right now it's a little bit of a frown, but they were running roughly at the bottom of the top 15 when they became locked together. Taking him down through the mini mile here. We'll reset the field for you.
Back to green they go.
Wow. What a power move as Woody Pitcat blasted the back bumper of Rocco's car.
Look at Hinckley.
We didn't even know where he came from. Les Hinckley is up to the top 4, and he isn't done yet.
No, he's not, as he's pressuring Pit Cat on the inside. Maybe that tire swap did it all for him, as right now he is solid in the top 5. Look at the battle for the lead. Rocco is going right after Pennick on the outside in turn number 3.
Pennick digs in, back in command. Meanwhile, here comes Anthony Nacella. And what about that 25 car? Kind of an unknown, Anthony Flannery from East Hampton, Connecticut. Nobody would have anticipated that he'd be this strong. 52 laps in here at Stafford on his maiden voyage here at the half mile.
Boy, that's encouraging for that young man and that race team to have him trouble again. Caution on the speedway. We get trouble, Seidel, and I think that is Medeiros.
Yep, the 50 car and the 77 come together. Seidel spun to avoid the situation, and Medeiros is heading down on pit road.
And turning it over to John Spence Jr. on the flag stand as Pennick and Rocco are ready to blast off the corner. Here they come out of the turn. Green is back over the speedway. Back to racing we go.
Little different start than the last time that we saw, but it was all good. Good for who? It was good for Rowan Pennick.
Another.
Look at Nacella.
Unbelievable. Another highly competitive Valenti modified race here at Stafford Motor Speedway. Look at that pack. Look at those cars. Look at the 57 all over the back end of the number 25 car.
While that's been happening, Nacella gets up on the wheel in the outside lane. Here comes Flannery. Meanwhile, back up front, Rocco isn't about to let Pennick shake him off. As they come off turn number 4, it is still Rowan Pennick, your leader.
And if this is any kind of an indication of what this season's going to be like, seeing this kind of a race, this is opening night for this series here at Stafford Motor Speedway, and we have been treated to a very competitive event so far.
Surprise of this event has to be the driver of car number 25, Connecticut, Anthony Flannery. Flannery coming to the front of the field like the old hot knife through butter.
Look at Nocella. Down to the bottom on the back straightaway, trying to go stride for stride down the chute in the turn number 3, but Rocco does a nice job. Here comes Anthony to the bottom. They're going to go wheel the wheel off the corner. Nocella goes to second spot.
Nacella turned the fastest lap of the race the last time by. So Anthony Nacella is not done yet. The kid moves into the second spot. Rocco has to settle back for third, and when you pass Keith Rocco here at Stafford, that is saying something. Pretty stout credentials. 57 of 80 laps now complete.
Savory and the 06 Hinckley continue to battle. They have done that off and on in this race. Savory right up behind the 06 off the corner. Mike Willis Jr.'s there. Here goes the 99 to the bottom as he moves by Les Hinckley in the third turn. Down the straightaway, it continues to be Rowan Pennick. 58 laps are on the board here for the race leader and company. Nocella trying to stay a good pace with the number 25 here, not to let him get away. Rocco is in the third position. Pit Cat, who has been around the third and fourth spots pretty much throughout this race, runs right in that fourth position. Whoa!
Oh, Savory.
Wow.
Savory just blistered by the Flannery race car, as now Richard Savory realizes that we have 20 circuits to go when they come back to the stripe. So if you were saving anything, you've got to show it now.
Indeed, that is the case here, as Rowan is checking out on the rest of the field. So far, a dominating run here for car number 25. Dominated when he needed to dominate.
And believe it or not, Rowan Pennick's car is getting faster. 19.159. Now, before the last caution, the fastest car in the racetrack was a 19.327. So shows you that Rowan Pennick was sandbagging a little bit earlier.
Well, I guess you would definitely have to label it that because he is literally running away with it now. Checking out on the rest of the field, and they got to be happy. As you pointed out, new car. Casella's got to be happy. That whole operation, Roscoe Racing out of Saugus, Massachusetts. Mully's one of the sponsors on that entry. Mully's Auto Repair. And Chevy is the power plant.
Rowan Pennick continues to string it out. And now Nacella is closing up the gap. Anthony Nacella, that's a brand new race car also, John. And that race car seems to be better on the longer runs. We've got a caution. It is for a spin off turn 2. And that, we believe, is the Johnny K machine.
It is.
That spins. Johnny K comes from Deerfield, Florida. And it appears Keith Rocco's car. John, the 57 is slowing. Almost like it might be running out of gas. A bizarre chain of events.
That would be the first impression, just the way he's crawling down pit road.
Yep, the 57.
Or the engine quit.
Yep, at the entrance to pit road. And then there comes quickly one of our wreckers, our safety service vehicles, to assist. A heartbreaker for Keith Rocco, just 9 laps shy. And that changes the whole chemistry of this one. It'll work to the advantage of Richard Savory, Mike Willis, and Les Hinckley and Flannery. Heartbreaker there. We'll see if John Gates can find out what happened with the Rocco race car.
As John calls them off the corner, picking up the momentum. Here's the green flag, and back to racing we go.
It is still panic. But all of a sudden, Woody Pitcat, and there's Richard Savory. Look at Anthony Nacella. He tested the waters just a bit.
And Les Hinckley.
And here comes Savory again on the outside, as Pitcat drops off the podium for the first time tonight, and it took 72 laps to put him out of the top 3.
Nacella continues to give chase as they head off the number 3 turn. Falling single file now off the 4th corner and down the straightaway.
Look at Willis. Car number 83 with Les Hinckley. Mike Willis is up to the top 5. Got to give a shout out to him for that move. And Keith Rocco's engine suddenly just shut off. That's the story there. When they come back to the stripe, 5 circuits, Matt Meads, number 77, is off the pace. Down to the bottom of turn number 1. Oh, let's see. No. Caution flag is out. You don't see usually Matt Mead make a move like that.
No.
Here they come.
Savory goes to work on the bottom of the front straightaway, trying to steal that number 3 spot away from Pitcat. Rowan pulls away about a car length over Nacella. Trouble midway down the back straightaway.
We've got a double situation going on.
Gernhardt right in front of the WTIC sign. And Lashley is involved. He went into a slide. Also Flannery in the 25 Connecticut's involved, as he also went into a slide. So attrition really heavy here in the late stages of this race.
And the Gernhardt machine hit at a ton. That's the car underneath the Osterman WC. And the report that we're getting is something broke in the front suspension, and he ended up hitting at a ton. Donnie Lashaway became a victim of circumstances and an after effect. Okay, let's go down to John Gates. Johnny, what do you got, buddy?
Hey, Richard, what happened to the 99 car tonight?
Looks like we must have ran out of gas. We must have judged it a
There you
little
go.
too close. The best car we ever had here. I think we had a real good shot. I feel bad for all the guys. Just too many cautions there, and it just bit us at the end.
Good run gone bad for Richard Savory.
So what do you think the odds are that the 25 car might have had the same scenario?
I would not be surprised.
Okay.
Here we go. Not over till it's over.
And Woody
Hinckley
Pitcat.
to
Wow.
3rd. Hinckley went by Willis, moves to 3rd.
And Hinckley's car suddenly got evil once in 3rd.
It did.
Nacella took over the lead, but Woody Pitcat isn't done yet. Big 5 remaining. 5 circuits left to go.
And look at car 5 dancing down the front straightaway. Darts to the bottom here. He's trying to get by the inside of Hinckley. And Charlie is charging down the back straightaway and challenging Hinckley. Now Pastriak's going to 4th.
While he goes to 4th, Williams tries to get down underneath Hinckley, and Hinckley's car seems to be running like he's driving on ice. The car is just not sticking at all as Anthony Nocella pulls away. This time, off turn number 4. Back to the line they come. 77 laps are complete.
John Spence has got the sticks in hand, getting ready to display to the leaders as they come off the 4th turn. 2 laps to go, and there is the indication now for Nocella and company. 2 more laps to go in the Valenti 80.
Time is starting to run out, and Anthony Nocella had one of the quickest cars on the racetrack, and he really, really never was out of the action among the top 3 positions. But the white flag is out and nobody is surrendering among the top positions here. Pastriak tries a late event charge to be able to get the job done. Ladies and gentlemen, off turn number 4, Anthony Nocella will secure the Valenti Modified Racing Series win. Woody Pitkat will finish in the runner-up spot. Mike Willis will finish in 3rd. Charlie Pastriak unofficially in 4th. Ronnie Williams for 5. Les Hinckley for 6. Colby Fournier for 7th. Rob Ricciardi for 8th. And Matt Mead will finish in the 9th spot. Johnny Kay was 10th. Jeff Gallup was 11th. Roy Seidel, a good run for him, in 12th. The heartbreaker of the night, Rowan Pennick in 13th with the 25. Same can be said about Richard Savory finishing 14th. Donnie Lashaway for 15th. 16th position, Anthony Flannery. Jeff Gernhard will finish in 17th. Keith Rocco for 18th. Jeff Rocco for 19th. Kyle James for 20th. Carl Medeiros for 21st. Samuel Ramo will finish in 22nd. David Etheridge for 23rd. Dylan Kopech for 24th. George Sherman for 25. Well, he came, he saw, and he conquered, and he never gave up, turning in the early laps of the event some of the quickest laps.
And that's his first win here at Stafford Motor Speedway with the Valenti Series, and his 7th career win with the series, number 7.
And, you know, amazingly enough, Rowan Pennick had the fastest car on the racetrack. But, well, call it bad luck, call it what you want. But a fuel situation would take both him and Savory, who were the strongest contenders in the closing laps of the event. As Anthony Nocella will be heading to victory lane, want to remind everybody, we do it all over again for the grand finale, the Dunleavy's Modified 3 nights with the biggest payday in the history of the SK Lights. 10 extra laps for the SKs, $1,000 to some lucky fan in a special drawing, military appreciation night, and a whole lot more. Surrounded by fireworks in the air and fireworks.
Okay, thank you very much, Ben. Anthony Nocella and Woody Pitkat having a little conversation there, cockpit-wise. So Anthony Nocella trying to get his safety gear off. We'll get a word with him after Woody Pitkat. Mike Willis Jr. finished 3rd, Pitkat in 2nd. And I'll tell you what, gas mileage was a factor here. Let's talk to our 2nd place finisher, Woody Pitkat. Woody, the number 52 car looked good tonight, man. 2nd spot, congratulations.
Yeah, not bad. We still got to work on it a little bit. You know, we're trying to just figure out what it likes. And we need to just work on our, you know, adjustments from heat race to feature. But all in all, it was a good night. I can't complain. You know, good finish. I know we probably shouldn't have been 2nd. You know, it was probably about a 4th or 5th place car, but you know, we had some luck on our side. But just can't thank these guys enough for giving me the opportunity to run this car. Danny Stebbins and Craig and everybody that worked so hard. Mayhew Tools is on board this year. I can't thank them enough. West County Reynolds, Allstate Asphalt, Billy the Kid, Horsepower, YHM, Napa Talon, Magnus Transmission, Spafco Race Cars, just everybody. Billy the Kid, great power, awesome restarts. Just was lacking a little bit forward drive. So, you know, it's a good night. You know, congratulations to Anthony and those guys. I know they got a brand new car. They've been working on it, so it's cool to see them win. And you know, we'll go on to the next one.
All right, thank you, Woody. Second place in the Valenti Modified Racing Series Modified Main Event. Let's talk to our winner, Anthony Nocella. Man, I tell you what, it wound up being a gas mileage thing, but I tell you, you were coming on strong there even at the end.
Yeah, definitely. Can't thank Eddie Flumke enough. Built a new car this winter and kind of completely different than the other one, and we didn't really first race out with it, so we didn't really have a clue what it was going to do, but we were horrible in practice, and the thing was awesome the whole race. The only thing, I think we could have kind of ran with Rowan a little harder there earlier, but we lost the brakes on lap 5, so that kind of held us back a little bit, but the car was so good it didn't really matter. I could kind of float it in there, but it was awesome.
Anthony, were you getting worried about gas mileage there towards the end?
A little bit, not too bad, though. I knew we had enough. I knew those guys have bigger carburetors with those motors, so they use a little bit more fuel, so that worked to our advantage a little bit, but it was a pretty awesome race, and the guys gave me an awesome car. I got to thank my father and my uncle for supporting us, and all my guys for working. They work real hard on the thing, and just Eddie from Flint Raceworks for giving us an awesome car, and Billy the Kid and Curtis. The motor ran awesome. Everybody says this thing couldn't run with the steelheads, and I think we had more than them. The whole thing was awesome.
Woburn, Massachusetts. Anthony Nocella goes to victory lane in the Valenti Modified Racing Series event. Let's talk to our third place finisher, Mike Willis. Hey, Mike, congratulations. Third place tonight. I'll tell you what, the car looked good. Looked like it ran good for you. Gas mileage was an issue here, but third, you can't be too upset about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really happy the car ran good, didn't have any problems. Actually, when we had that red flag there, the car had stalled on me. I was like, oh, man, we're out of fuel, but it was hot, so it vapor locked a little bit, and then it fired back up, and the car was good. I mean, I hated all those cautions, but every time we had them at the end, I kept picking up spots, so I weren't complaining too much.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it was fun watching you tonight. You guys put on a good show for the fans, and congratulations. How about some sponsors on that car?
Yeah, like AB Guile Insurance, Spirit Alaska, Wilderness Adventures, and Legacy Landscaping.
There he is, Mike Willis Jr., third place tonight in your Valenti Modified Racing Series finale.
Speedway, Kyle Rickey was able to catch up with the race winner here tonight, Anthony Nocella. And Anthony, congratulations. It was a long one out there, 10 cautions, a red flag there at the end, but you got the job done. Kind of walk us through your 80 laps out there to win the Valenti 80 for the Valenti Modified Racing Series.
Yeah, thank you very much. We had a really good car. We kind of ran a new car here, the first race out with it, and we struggled real bad in practice and just slowly worked on it, trying to get it going better and better. And started, I believe, 8th at the beginning of the race and just kind of tried to take our time but not drop back too far, try to save the tires. And the only problem about lap 5, we lost the brakes on it, so really tried to pace myself and just float it down in the corner there the whole race. And I knew we had an awesome car, so we didn't really want to pit and try to fix it. We didn't want to give up all that track position, and they just tried to keep me calm on the radio there and just keep floating it down in the corner. And we rode around about 5th for a good portion of the race there, just kind of riding, keeping the leaders within sight, and just kind of let them keep using their tires up, and just kind of keep ours nice and straight and try to keep what brakes I could keep under it, and just kind of ride along there. Then with about 25, 30 to go, we started to pick up the pace a little bit and ran in second there for a bunch of late restarts with Rowan, Pennick, and I think we had as good of a car as them. We kind of got alongside them a few times, but again, the brakes kind of held me up there from really getting it in the corner and were holding us up. And then late there, after the red flag, I think some of those guys ran out of fuel, which worked out good for us. I think we had a real good car the whole race anyway, but I guess we'll take it either way. It's a win's a win.
Does that ruin your rhythm? You mentioned the yellow fever that we had in the last 30 laps of this race and a red flag where you had to sit there and think about it. Does that ruin a rhythm of a race car driver while you're up there challenging for the lead?
Somewhat. I mean, you try to... Everything goes through your head there, especially restarting up on the front, trying to get everything you can out of it, not to spin the tires, not to miss a shift, and just try to keep that under control. And it messed us up a little bit because I couldn't get it in as deep as them on the starts without the brake, but after a couple laps, I could kind of get it rolling again and start rolling right back up on them again. So that kind of messed me up a little bit, but I guess it worked out a little better at the end there for us, and just tried to keep the car as straight as you can on all those restarts to make sure you got enough there at the end.
Final question for you. Did the weather change at all help you? I mean, you're practicing and qualifying. It's like 85, 90 degrees this afternoon, and now we're standing here shivering and freezing because it's about 50. Does that play an effect for you guys out on the racetrack?
I believe it does. I mean, everybody seemed like they were kind of tight earlier in the day. The track seemed greasier with the rubber on it when it was real hot, and I know we were kind of skating around and weren't very good, and just slowly worked on it and tried to make some adjustments for what we figured the weather when it was going to cool off, hoping what the track was going to do, and they were pretty close because the car was pretty spot on for most of the race there.
Great way to start the season here in the Valenti Modified Racing Series. Anthony Nocella, congratulations again here winning at the Stafford Motor Speedway.
All right, thank you very much.